obviously after last week's loss, I think it kind of gave us an edge this week in practice. It was one of the better weeks of practice that we had. And then I thought we played with a good intensity, even from the beginning. Even though offensively our shots wasn't going, that Coppin team, that's a good defensive team. And, after the first half, you just kind of got to see it. Once you begin to see how they play you, you can now make your adjustments. And I felt like in the second half, our team did a great job coming out in the third and Mimi running and Diamond attacking gaps. And, just the one more passes created a lot of stuff for our basketball team.
Coach, that third quarter defense, I think you forced 7 out of however many turnovers they had in the third quarter. Mm-hmm. What were any adjustments that you guys made, or was it just like you said, kind of reading and reacting to what you were seeing?
Yeah, I think our energy was really good defensively, and I thought there was an attention to detail, finding shooters. Even in the beginning of the fourth, we did a really good job. It was like the last three and a half minutes that they really scored all the baskets. But I thought in the second half overall, our defensive intensity was great. We're a little bit smaller now, from a couple weeks ago, but I felt like our guards used their size. And then I thought Scott did a good job, playing tough and getting rebounds, doing some of the dirty stuff that we need to win basketball games.
Diamond, you were getting trapped a lot in the game. I imagine that's something you were anticipating at this point. How did you feel like you reacted? You still were able to get 20-something points off of that, even though they were kind of sending an extra defender at you often.
As you watch film, we knew they was kind of going to trap the ball screen, so my coach was just saying keep your dribble and go around and make the right pass. I would just prepare for it. That's basically it.
Dom, I think this is 6 games out of the 9 that you've played where you scored 20 plus. Is this the most comfortable you've felt in your college basketball career?
Yeah, that I will say. More freedom on the court, off the court, and I think the coaches do a very good job of knowing me, knowing what type of person I am, and just coaching me along the way. So, shout out to the coaches and my teammates.
How exciting is it for you guys? Take a little close there at one point, and then you start to pull away, and you start making a couple of long shots. You start, fast break layups, all that. For you guys, how cool and how fun is it to start pulling away like that, and when things really start to click for you guys?
At halftime, we really went in and thought about the adjustment that we needed to make. We seen what they were doing offensively and defensively, and I don't think the first half that we did terrible, but we was just more poised and making the right reads in the second half to really just extend that lead. So when we got the lead, it wasn't like we didn't know we just didn't know when it was coming, but we know that we was going to do it.
I'll say with the runs, we had a stretch where, we were getting stops on every possession, not today, but just throughout the year where, we've had a lot of blowouts. So it was good to play a tough game at home. It was good to finally see what your team looks like in those kind of environments, because all our home games have all been kind of blowouts for the most part. App State came back late, but we've been in control of all those games. So it was good to see what we would look like at home. Sometimes your team is a lot more team-friendly on the road than they are at home when mom, dad, and your friends are in the stands. So, it was good to see what we look like at home in a close game.
Yeah, I think it was very good. I think it was a point of emphasis. Of course, we want to score in half court, but if we can get those easy points and run out, it just makes life easier. Like the crowd amped us up, teammates, everything. Everybody was hyped, so that kind of gave us like an edge to want to keep going harder.
Meet me a couple weeks ago after the non-conference, and I was talking to Coach Vickers, and he said this team would kind of need to learn a little bit about how to play with that target on your back. A few weeks now into MEAC play, can you sense that the team's kind of growing into that role of knowing how to play when you know you're getting everybody's best shot?
Definitely. I think this week in practice, we kind of simulated that, especially after I lost to Howard. It was a big realization for us just to see, I know a lot of, last year was my first year in the MEAC, so they warned me about how aggressive and how they was going to come at us with everything, but I don't think, me personally, I did a good job at communicating with them that every time they come on the floor, they're going to try to beat us. So I think my team knows now, when we step on the floor, like you said, everybody going to try to give us their best, and we got to defend. We got to defend the red, we got to defend green and gold.
Now that you guys are back in the right side of the win column, how do you make sure going forward you stack these wins on top of each other in order to make a run in conference play?
Well, I think last year I was telling them, in some meetings that we had this week, you know, you kind of need that moment. So for us, last year it was a moment of, gosh, we're kind of practicing like that. We kind of showed some practice clips. It was like, wow. For us, I think Howard will be that moment, and I don't think we'll forget that through the next 2 months. You know, that was what we needed. And when teams are making shots and their benches are going crazy, it's just like, hey, do y'all expect to score sometimes? You know, so we got to know what that looks like and continue to put pressure on teams like that. You know, last year, defensively, our statistics were amazing. You know, I thought we got to see today this team can be just as good as that team last year defensively.
For the players, how nice has it been to just be off the road finally and have some home games?
Too good, honestly. Before we came in the gym, I told my team, like, we finally in Echoes. Like, this is our gym. This is where we've been for the past 6 months, and nobody's seen it yet. So just be excited and be ready, because we haven't been here in a minute.
Facts. All that traveling was tiring. It was like too much stress where we here. But it was good to be home, especially these last 4 games. Being home, we don't got to worry about packing. We can stay in our beds. Like, it feels so good.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank y'all.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Appreciate it.